Okie dokie. Today we're going to learn about Yaldabaoth. I know, again, I'm going to screw up a bunch of terminology here, so like I said, bear with me. We're going to talk about his Gnostic origins and why he's called the Child of Chaos. We'll see how he emerged from a mistake made by Sophia and why he is known as the first ruler or archon. We'll talk about Yaldabaoth's role as the flawed architect of the material universe, and how his hubris defines the Gnostic concept of the creator god. So let's do this. Yaldabaoth is a name that resonates across the domain of Gnostic teachings, imbued with the implications of chaos and upheaval. It's a term that scholars have long debated. The word is thought to be of Aramaic origin, possibly translating to child of chaos. This interpretation alone sheds light on the character and the disruptive energy that he injects into the Gnostic cosmology. This name, Child of Chaos, is not merely a label but a profound statement on his place in the Gnostic universe. It encapsulates the essence of who Yaldabaoth is, a being conceived from a deviation, an anomaly in the divine blueprint of existence. It puts into perspective his emergence in the celestial narrative as an unanticipated product of a higher power's overreach. The discussion of Yaldabaoth's name is not just an exercise in etymology. It provides us a lens through which we can view his nature and the role he plays in the grand scheme of things. As the child of chaos, he represents a departure from the established order, a symbol of disruption in the otherwise harmonious cosmos envisioned by Gnostic philosophy. So as we look at Yaldabaoth's identity, we begin to see the implications embedded within his name. It's a constant reminder of the unpredictable nature of creation and the complex interplay between order and chaos. One cannot help but think about the ripple effects of Yaldabaoth's chaotic origin on the material world he is said to oversee and the divine narrative he disrupts. So to fully grasp the weight of Yaldabaoth's title, we also need to consider its broader implications. It isn't just a personal name, it's a description of his birthright and legacy. As the child of chaos, he is forever bound to the fabric of Gnostic myths, as perplexing and multifaceted as the name itself. In embracing this narrative, our understanding of Yaldabaoth becomes richer, more nuanced. Much like the name that evokes such deep historical and mythological roots, the character of Yaldabaoth cannot be deciphered at a mere glance. He demands a closer, more thoughtful contemplation to unravel the enigma that is his name in essence. In the lore of Gnosticism, the inception of Yaldabaoth is a tale of unintended consequences. It begins with Sophia, an exalted being of wisdom and a higher eon or aeon in the spiritual realms. In her quest to bring forth something unique or something divine, Sophia endeavored to create without the concert of the Supreme Being. This autonomous action carried out beyond the divine unity resulted in an error, a departure from the intended course of creation. The being that emerged from this misstep was Yaldabaoth, an entity neither fully divine nor completely aligned with the spiritual purity of the Plemera. You can also pronounce the name Yaldabaoth. It starts with a J or it starts with an I, either way. His birth marked the beginning of a distinct celestial hierarchy, setting him at the pinnacle as the first archon, a ruler within the Gnostic cosmological framework. Sophia, recognizing her mistake, gazed upon Yaldabaoth with a complex blend of material instinct and acknowledgement of the disorder he represented. This was a poignant moment where the divine touched the edges of the fallible material existence. In Yaldabaoth, there was a mirroring of the divine light, yet shadow, tainted with a nature not aligned with the unity and fullness of the higher realms. This sounds very, very familiar, almost Star Warsian. Nevertheless, Yaldabaoth rose to prominence among the celestial beings, asserting control and effectively becoming the forebearer of the material cosmos. In him was vested the authority and dominion over the evolving material plane, and, under his reign, the other archons were to administer the complexities of the universe. This narrative sets the stage for the unfolding drama between the spirit and matter, between the high eons or aeons and the archon of this world. Yaldabaoth, whose ascent was not an evil plot, but the consequence of a divine miscalculation, the error of wisdom in the pursuit of creation. So Yaldabaoth looks like a lion with the coils of a serpent. His form is a visual paradox that encapsulates his dominion and disposition. The lion, regal and feared, is an emblem of sovereignty and strength. This aspect of Yaldabaoth's appearance signifies his position as a ruler, an entity that claims kingship over the material cosmos. On the other hand, the serpent has long been a symbol intricately associated with knowledge, cunning, and the cyclical nature of life. In Gnostic thought, however, it hints at Yaldabaoth's connection to the earth, to the tangible, sensory-bound domain that stands in stark contrast to the pure spiritual realms that Gnosticism holds in high esteem. Here, in the undulations of the serpent's form, we see the manifestation of Yaldabaoth's mastery over the worldly, his tethering to the physical creation he presides over, and, perhaps, it's a subtle nod to the serpentine deceiver of biblical fame. And this duality in Yaldabaoth's appearance is not coincidence. It is an intentional design that speaks to his complex nature as a being that emerged from an act of disparity within the divine order. His visage encapsulates the dual qualities of his reign, the noble aspect with which he asserts his godhood and the deceptive tactics through which he maintains it. But what do these dual symbols truly tell us about Yaldabaoth? They draw a picture of a being straddling the boundaries between divinity and earthliness, power and deception, creation and control. His lion's face declares a divine right to rule. His serpent's body anchors him to the material world he shaped, a world viewed by the Gnostics as inherently flawed and a pale imitation of the true Pleroma. So Yaldabaoth's duality is not just in appearance, but it is woven into the very fabric of his existence and his actions across the Gnostic mythos. In Gnostic narratives, Yaldabaoth occupies a pivotal position as the Demiurge, or the artisan-like figure responsible for shaping the material universe. And this is no ordinary creation. It's marked by inherent flaws, imperfections that mirror Yaldabaoth's own limitations. In Gnostic context, this means the cosmos is not a product of divine perfection, but rather the outcome of a lesser deity acting independently of the ultimate divine source. Yaldabaoth, in his isolation, crafts a world that is a distorted reflection of the Pleroma, the realm of completeness and spiritual wholeness. This world that Yaldabaoth has molded is seen by Gnostics as an illusion or a trap, a place where human souls are ensnared far from their spiritual origins. It is not a paradise, it's a prison, governed by false laws and deceptive archons, or minions of Yaldabaoth, who maintain this illusion. But Yaldabaoth's actions not only distance him from the true divine essence, they create a world where the spark of spiritual awareness is hidden under layers of material reality. The Gnostics believe that this spiritual amnesia is purposeful, part of Yaldabaoth's scheme to keep humanity oblivious to their true nature and potential. But it's important to remember that within this tale of creation gone awry lies the seed of a profound narrative, the possibility of gnosis or knowledge. It suggests that by recognizing the world's flawed nature, humans can begin the journey back to spiritual enlightenment, to the true divine source from which they were disconnected by Yaldabaoth's imperfect creation. In essence, Yaldabaoth's character as the flawed Demiurge is not just a story of errant creation. It serves as a poignant reflection of human existence, imperfect and ignorant. Yet, it provides a roadmap back to a remembered wholeness and awakening from the dream woven by the child of chaos. In Gnostic cosmology, Yaldabaoth is often synonymous with the pitfalls of arrogance and the blindness that comes with unchecked power. His story takes us to the very heart of Gnostic teachings on the nature of divine knowledge and the consequences of its absence. Yaldabaoth, the first ruler and archon, sprung from the error of Sophia, is painted as a being utterly unaware of the existence of a higher spiritual plane beyond his own. This separation from the spiritual truth is the crux of his tragic ignorance. Amidst his celestial domain, shrouded in his own authority, Yaldabaoth makes the bold and erroneous declaration, "I am God and there is no other God beside me." And this statement is steeped in vanity. It is a clear work of his inflated ego. It echoes not just through mythic texts, but also serves as an allegory for humanity's own tendency towards egocentrism in spiritual and existential matters. But this declaration is not merely an idle boast. It sets the stage for Yaldabaoth as the emblem of imperfection in creation. His misunderstanding of his place within the cosmos blinds him to the more profound interconnectedness of all beings within the divine source. This blindness is mirrored in the material world that Gnostic believers inhabit, seen as an imperfect reflection, a flawed construct of a flawed creator. The hubris of Yaldabaoth serves both as a warning and a lesson. The Gnostics urge understanding of the true divine spark within and the recognition of the oneness and the original wholeness that Yaldabaoth himself couldn't grasp. It is in the knowing of what he represents that one can begin to transcend the limitations of the material and glimpse the higher realms of existence. So, this is where Yaldabaoth stands. A beacon of ignorance whose hubris is not just his downfall, but a fundamental part of the Gnostic journey towards enlightenment in the reclamation of the unity with the divine source that he had lost. In Gnostic narrative, the tale of Sophia and Yaldabaoth is a poignant chapter that sheds light on the consequences of actions, even among celestial beings. Sophia, whose name means wisdom, is a high-ranking aeon, an emanation of the divine. In her attempt to create something unique without the participation of the Supreme Being, Sophia sets in motion a series of events that lead to the emergence of Yaldabaoth. As the story goes, Sophia comes to realize the gravity of her missteps. Her creation, Yaldabaoth, has become the ruler of the material world, a domain separate from the pure spiritual existence of the Plemora, or fullness from whence she came. The material world under Yaldabaoth's dominion is imperfect and corrupt. It mirrors his own feelings of arrogance and ignorance. While Sophia's remorse is profound, in her regret, she yearns to rectify the disorder her actions have caused. Her intention shifts to salvaging the trapped spirits, those ensnared within Yaldabaoth's material realm. And this aspiration is a spark of redemption in that Gnostic cosmology. Sophia's efforts to liberate these spirits become a struggle against the archon's authority. She doesn't labor alone. According to the accounts, she receives aid from the higher realm, the very Plemora that sought to remain concealed from Yaldabaoth's knowledge. Through these redemptive acts, Sophia seeks to guide the ensnared souls back to the light and knowledge of the true divine essence from which they originated. This interplay between Sophia and Yaldabaoth captures the essence of the Gnostic worldview. In their teachings, the spirit's entrapment in the material world and the eventual quest for liberation reflect the human condition. Sophia's remorse and Yaldabaoth's dominion become allegorical backdrops against which the drama of spiritual awakening and redemption is set. Gnosticism thus presents a deeply intricate understanding of the universe and our place within it. The dynamic of Sophia and Yaldabaoth serves as a mythological expression of profound truths about knowledge, creation, and the dualities within existence itself. So in Gnostic teachings, the figure of Yaldabaoth is not just a creator, but an adversary to spiritual enlightenment. He's often seen obstructing the path of these celestial messengers who descend upon the earthly plane with a purpose, to guide humanity back to a state of spiritual wholeness. These saviors, or emissaries of a higher reality referred to as the Plemora, bring with them the spark of knowledge, seeking to awaken human souls from the stupor cast by the material world. This world, according to Gnosticism, is Yaldabaoth's creation, the imperfect mirror of the spiritual realms, designed to be a labyrinth of distractions and illusions that ensnares the souls within. As the spiritual liberators work to enlighten humanity, Yaldabaoth emerges as a figure of resistance, highlighting the Gnostic belief that earthly existence is a battleground between spiritual ignorance personified by Yaldabaoth and divine wisdom carried forth by the Redeemers. His very antithesis to the saviors illuminates the Gnostic dichotomy where material existence is just a shadow of a profound and inaccessible transcendence. And this conflict is pivotal, for it embodies the struggle of every human soul yearning for redemption amidst the world's tangible temptations. Yaldabaoth, in exerting his control, symbolizes the chains that bind humanity to a transient physical existence, where the Gnostic saviors represent the keys to unlock the understanding of our true home beyond the stars. By opposing the liberators, Yaldabaoth inadvertently defines the very essence of the salvation that Gnostic saviors seek to provide. A liberation not only from the physical confines, but from the spiritual oblivion fostered by the ruler of the material domain. And that's all I got.
Thanks for listening. If you like it, hit that subscribe button for us. If you don't like it, that's okay too. Other than that, have a great day.